The family. The family secrets. My patience has grown thin. The guests and the staff of his house think it is acceptable to lie to my face when questioned and obstruct my investigation, but no more. We shall see how Monsieur Sterling and his staff fare under some pressure. Ooh. New mind map. Dig deeper into Archibald and Rihanna's suspicious action. Who is Rihanna? Is a kitchen one. She's a cook. Yes. Have been lied to for the first time. My suspicions initially led me to the guests, but now they are firmly placed on the staff. Monsieur Sterling and Mademoiselle Rihanna cannot hide behind their lies any longer. Are they working together, guys? Rihanna and Archibald? Are they criminally involved? Or are they romantically involved? Or are they both? Let's go. Let's go talk to the butler and the cook. It's always a butler, guys. Oh, hello. It looks like Elizabeth is on her way to see me, but at such a late hour. What is up with her face? She looks like a ghost. Look at that face, guys. What is up with that? Is she about to stab me to death?
Mademoiselle, what a pleasure to see you.
Are you alright?
Detective,
It is a rather late hour to be wandering the halls.
Oh, yes. Of course.
I totally forgot about you, Elizabeth. Haven't seen you in a million years. Where have you been?
I do not feel myself, Detective.
If that is the case, you should be resting. Allow me to help.
No, that's quite all right. I will see to my duties and return to bed.
What the heck? Elizabeth? What the heck was that about?
Lizzie, excuse me, Elizabeth. Lady Van den Bosch has been waiting for some time now.
Oh, yes. Sorry. Detective Poirot was just...
She was about to tell me something, guys. Oh, I think she has important information. The butler.
I'll see to the detective. You just head on up. Off you go.
Good night, Detective.
Bonne nuit, mademoiselle.
Mademoiselle Elizabeth is certainly not herself. I thought the death of the Major had brought up uncomfortable memories of her beloved Luke, but it may be something else.
I'm sorry about her, Detective. As you can see, she is still not back to her usual bubbly self.
This weekend seems to have taken quite a toll on her.
She'll be right as rain in a couple of days. Now, what can I help you with?
As if by magic, you appeared when needed. I would like to speak with you and the remaining staff. If you could gather them in the staff pantry.
At this hour, Detective? Is that really necessary?
I shall be the one that determines what is and what is not necessary, and this is very much the former.
As you wish, Detective. I'll see if Inge has finished preparing for breakfast.
And Mademoiselle Rihanna?
Yes, of course. I'll fetch her from the kitchen. Elizabeth may be some time with the lady of the house. Perhaps you'd like to start with us?
Very well. I shall speak with Mademoiselle Elizabeth when her duties are complete.
While I am gathering the staff, Mr. Beckers is in the library. If you wish to join him, I could bring you both a nightcap.
I wish to keep a clear head, but there is something I wish to discuss with Monsieur Beckers.
This is my opportunity to confront Monsieur Beckers about his dealings, or lack thereof, with Monsieur da Silva without being disturbed. Okay, let's head to his room, guys. Where is his room? Where is it? At the bottom? Wait. It's not on this side. Margot's. Jackie. Where is his room? Is he in the library? Monsieur Beckers, where are you? Oh, there you are.
Monsieur Beckers, it is rather late. The other guests have already retired to their rooms.
I didn't even see the time. It's easy to lose oneself in a library this impressive.
That is something we can agree on, monsieur.
I suppose I should be heading?
Un moment, monsieur. There are some matters that we must discuss.
Oh, what is it, detective?
I didn't realize your relationship with Mademoiselle Conrad was so business-oriented.
I am not sure what you mean.
Her proposal to make you somewhat of a star, a figurehead for the working man. What would you call that?
There was certainly no talk of making me a star. That is not the type of man I am. She wanted to write a piece on my work with the union, and I was happy to oblige.
Monsieur Beckers has always appeared to have the worker intentions at the forefront of his decisions, but perhaps the thought of being remembered for something great was too much for him to pass up. I was wondering, did your speech go the way you expected? After so many corrections.
My speech? I'm not sure what speech.
You may save your false ramblings for your next audience. I am aware you spoke with the Major yesterday.
Whoever told you that has it wrong, detective.
Please, monsieur. The truth.
And only the truth.
Okay, fine. Yes, the Major and I spoke, but it was not for long.
What was the manner of your conversation? From what I understand, it was not a light-hearted chat.
I was trying to convince him to speak with Ernesto. It's time we brought the strikes to an end.
And that was best approached by a shouting match?
He wouldn't listen to what I said. I spent so long preparing how I was going to convince him, but men like him are only swayed by one thing: money.
Monsieur Beckers is not wrong. Had he tried to grease the Major's palm, perhaps he would have been more successful.
It is said that money is the root of all evil, but it can also be a rather powerful bargaining chip.
Well, he was bargaining with people's lives. If he had acted sooner, none of those men, my men, would have to die.
The Major oversaw security at the factories. Could he have done more to stop the strikes turning violent? I understand Monsieur de Silva had prepared a deal.
A deal? It was an insult.
And that is why you did not sign it?
So, you have read it, huh?
I didn't sign it because the workers deserve so much more, not his pathetic attempts to get them back to work.
Did you think there was a chance for a better deal to be made?
I know there was. He's a pompous swine that cares for only himself and filling his pockets.
I'm sure I have heard a description of Monsieur de Silva before, or at least something similar. Okay, so Jacqueline's influence over Hugo, but they do not see eye to eye, guys. Jacqueline.
Mademoiselle Conrad can be quite convincing, can she not?
She has certainly taken several wealthy business partners by surprise with her knowledge and prowess. She knows how to use her womanly powers to get what she wants.
But she did not surprise or use you?
Me? Used me? Don't be ridiculous, detective. There were no games played at my expense.
Monsieur Beckers is quite away with words and is a fan of his own voice. Perhaps I should allow him the opportunity to speak and open up without too much interruption and forcefulness. Hello, Keith from Oregon. How are you doing? Alright, so... Wow. I think I am going to pick curious. Even though she was able to convince you not to sign a deal.
No, she just reminded me of what I was fighting for.
You were used.
Excuse me?
Oh, I picked the wrong choice?
You had the opportunity to end the strikes before the tension escalated, let alone blood being spilt. But you chose not to.
How dare you!
Ouch.
Everything I have done has been for those men. I fight for their rights and their fair treatment.
Oh, no. Your job is to support the workers, but nothing you have done has got them any closer to the result you promised.
I may not be perfect, but I've done everything I can.
Your efforts fell short in every respect. You claim to be the voice of the people, but you care about no one's voice or benefits but your own.
That is true, though.
It's not as easy as just signing a piece of paper, Detective. It is a heavy weight to bear on one's shoulders. I consulted with others.
And who are these others?
You yourself spoke of Mademoiselle Conrad's cunning in business.
And I told you, I was not one of her targets.
Tell me then, what was it she reminded you of? The acclaimed man of the people you would be known as if you pushed the factory owners for more?
It wasn't like that at all.
From where I am standing, it was she that was manipulating the terms of the deal, and you in the process. You were merely her pawn.
I think you have let your imagination run away with you, Detective. She merely offered some advice. What kind of union leader and fighter for equality and fairness would I be if I just did what someone told me to do?
Okay, you know what? Let's try this again.
Mademoiselle Conrad...
Okay, hold on. I need
She
to
has
get back to that
certainly
choice,
taken
guys.
several wealthy business partners by surprise with her knowledge.
But she did not surprise...
Me?
Okay, let's skip all this. So, it's the first time I get to redo this. Okay, we'll be curious again.
No, she just reminded me of what I was fighting for.
I guess we have to be direct. You claim that you refused Monsieur da Silva's deal as he was not adequate for your men.
And I stand by that. It was an insult.
A rather bold move to make such a decision on your own.
Your job is to support the workers, but nothing you have done has got them any closer to the result you promised.
I may not be perfect, but I've done everything I can.
Your efforts fell short in every respect. You claim to be the voice of the people, but you care about no one's voice or benefits but your own.
It's not as easy as just signing a piece of paper, Detective. It is a heavy weight to bear on...
Yes,
You
the same
yourself
now.
spoke of Mademoiselle Conrad's cunning in business.
And I told you, I was not one of her targets.
Tell me then, what was it she reminded you of? The acclaimed man of the people you would be known as if you pushed the factory owners for more?
It wasn't like that at all.
From where I am standing, it was she that was manipulating the terms of the deal, and you in the process. You were merely her pawn.
Okay, yes, I know. I shouldn't have listened to her. But what else could I do? Remain an unknown my whole life? I didn't mean for anyone to get hurt.
Aha!
It may not have been your intention, but we both know the result. You rolled the dice with those men's lives for fame, and you lost.
Yeah, you were partially responsible too. Pardon my intrusion, but you are from a large family.
What does that have to do with anything?
I found your family picture.
I have often wondered about the competition siblings face in a large family.
When you're young, it is the best feeling to know you have family that will stand by you, without even being asked. It is not until everyone starts carving their own path that you realize you're walking yours solo, and those that were beside you are now miles away. My older brothers were the athletes of the family. They both played soccer, and were the infatuation of every teenage girl. I'm sure you have seen the type.
Oui, monsieur, but I can assure you that was not I.
Then there was me. quiet, timid, a shadow of the Baker brothers. My voice and very presence was forgotten and ignored. Nothing I could say or do would ever reach the bar they had set. But I always knew I was destined for great things. Years passed, and now that I no longer stood in the colossal ombre of my brothers, I could become my own man. When the position of union leader was posted, it was my chance to finally be heard. You hear politicians speak of the little or the common man? Well, that was me. And I knew what we wanted and what we needed. When I spoke, others listened. I held their gaze with a sense of pride, a sense that what I was doing was for the greater good. It was supposed to be my crowning achievement, lead the men to victory over the money-grabbing oppressors. But instead, all I did was lead them to their deaths.
Monsieur, it was not at your hands that these men died. The blame cannot lie solely on your shoulders. Those responsible will be punished for their crimes. That you must trust.
Monsieur Becker's story is one of fighting to have one's voice heard, but a single or one of the masses. I'm afraid he might be remembered for what he did, but not in the way he so hoped. Well, any new mind map here? Yeah, he sounds genuine enough. So, whoa, okay. 0 here. We have 0, 0. Let's move on then. Where are we going next? It looks like a good game, in case you like the game so far. If you like 1,000-piece puzzle. Yeah, those mind maps. While speaking with Monsieur Beckers was not the reason for me being up at this hour. He was able to fill in some of the blanks regarding the Major, but not in getting any closer to discovering his killer. Perhaps the staff living quarters will. So, staff living quarters. I guess we're going back down. I remember that the cook... someone who died in that riot is related to the cook? I can't remember this, guys. I'm not sure if that is true or not. So the servants' quarters is actually not this way. It's on the right hand side. Oh, come. Damn, that's a huge detour. Servants' quarters. Butler's pantry. This is the servants' quarters. For the first time, guys, we're going in. Decent supply of logs. Just hope the staff also get to make use of them in this weather. Is there a fireplace in here, though? If there's no fireplace, then those logs are not for the servants. But unfortunately, I don't see a fireplace, so... They are a few days old, do not hold a candle as to what has transpired in here this weekend. A warm meadow that I assume must belong to the Major. To the Major? What is I doing here then? Huh? Someone pick up his medal? I'm glad I'm a guest of the house. I'm not sure how well I will sleep in such a contraption. It looks fun. Yeah, I think that looks very comfortable. There does not seem to be anything of interest in here. Metal. So anything else? Hammock. What is that important piece of evidence, guys? I don't see any. Did I miss anything? The logs. The bedding globes. A rather luxurious jacket, the initials read FH, Felix Hagan. Are these scruffy boots his as well? Why would they be left here though? Felix Hagan. The items I have found are most intriguing and require an explanation that I believe only the staff can give. Shall meet them in the pantry. Someone was pretending to be the Major?
What can we do for you?
What?
You can help me by telling the truth, and in the process, help yourselves.
Remember, someone saw him smoking out in the snow, guys. Maybe by that time, the Major was already dead, and someone was pretending to be him wearing the jackets outside in the snow.
Sorry, Detective. It's a bit late in the night for riddles.
It is no riddle, monsieur. If I do not receive the truth, you shall all be charged as accessories to murder.
Detective, I think maybe you have been locked in this house for too long. We have already...
You have told me a version, and now I require honesty.
Who shall we start with? Archibald, Inge, or Rihanna? So anything else to look at? I guess not. We'll start with you, Archibald.
Monsieur Sterling, is there anything you would like to add to your story?
I'm not sure what you think I have done, Detective.
Let us not string out this charade any longer.
The telephone call the Major received.
From his associate. I've already told you, Detective. I don't know who it was.
Do not worry yourself on such details now. I suppose they were lucky to have called when they did. Otherwise, they may not have gotten through at all, with the telephone lines being down as of yesterday.
Aye, Detective. Lucky, I guess.
Monsieur Sterling is no fool. I believe he is aware of suspecting him of something. Perhaps some carefully worded questions are all that are needed for him to slip up. Carefully worded, huh? You were the last to see the Major alive when you brought him the bottle of whiskey in his study, correct? Can you explain why metal belonging to the Major was amongst your belongings? But we need carefully worded questions, guys. Isn't this too direct? Now let's choose this one.
Whiskey?
You took a bottle of whiskey to the Major. You spoke with Monsieur Demire en route.
Aye, of course. It was a bottle he picked up from his last visit to Scotland. Rather smoky number from the Highlands. He was saving it for a worthy occasion. Drowning his sorrows must have been fitting enough.
At first, he does not remember a bottle at all, and as if by magic he recalls the exact details.
Or was it the one from the West Coast? You'll have to excuse my memory, Detective. It's not what it used to be.
Can you explain why a medal belonging to the Major was amongst your belongings?
Oh, you found it. Thank you, Detective. I've been looking everywhere for it.
If I had lost a war medal, I would not stop until I found it.
It's not what you think. I was...
Exploiting a dead man's military achievements for your own personal gain?
Nothing of the sort. He asked me to clean them up. I must have dropped it into my pocket when I was putting them back. An honest mistake.
Never have I heard such a pathetic excuse to explain a stolen item in one's possession. I would expect a better lie from an infant. I cannot claim to be an expert, but I would assume a medal like that would be of quite some value.
I wouldn't know. Probably.
Your father was in the military for many years. That is what you told me.
He was.
And your family still keep his medals?
They were sold.
And why was that, monsieur?
Is my family on trial now, Detective?
Only you, monsieur. And I repeat my question.
Because we needed money.
Voila.
Monsieur Sterling was well aware of the medal's value when he found its way into his belongings. You claim the Major asked you to clean his medals for display purposes?
No, he keeps them safe with some of his old military documentation.
Is that a typical job for the head butler?
He trusts me to do a good job. I told him I used to clean my father's, so he asked me to do the same.
And where does he keep these items?
In the storage room. I know where everything is, so it's just easier if I fetch them for him as and when he needs them.
The secret storage room. Where is this room? Do not recall seeing any military memorabilia or keepsakes when I was in the storage room. Could there be another storage room he speaks of? A secret one, guys. Are you happy here at the Vanderbosch house?
It's certainly better than my last.
You are paid a fitting wage for the work that is asked of you?
I'm sure the lady of the house would not want me discussing it, but I should not complain.
That is not the most convincing answer, monsieur.
Between you and I, we all work very hard here, and it would be nice if we were rewarded for it.
It seems Monsieur Sterling is trying to convince me, and he has himself, that his light finger actions are justifiable due to petty wage he received for his honest work.
Please don't go anywhere. If I require more information, I shall call on you again.
Alright, goodbye Maria, I'll see you again next time. And hello Renata, welcome. I'm doing well, thank you very much, how are you doing? Okay, now let's talk to Inge. But can we examine the cupboard? Nothing of interest in here, never mind.
Mademoiselle, I shall keep my questions brief.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
You have been honest with me so far. All I request is that you continue to do so.
Oui, detective.
I'm already aware of Mademoiselle's involvement with the blackmail, but I'm not sure if she is also connected to the Major's murder. Tell me what happened before you found the Major in the study.
It was frantic in the pantry. We were working hard to make sure everything was up to scratch.
Go on.
Then Liz burst in, asking for Maman's help.
Elizabeth?
Her help with what, exactly?
I don't know. She took Liz to one side, and I was needed in the salon. We spoke just after that in the pantry.
You did not question what she needed help with?
I was too busy. I love Liz, but she sheds a tear at almost everything these days. Although, I have never seen her look so pale.
Ooh. Mademoiselle Elizabeth still looked pale. When I saw her earlier, she looked like a ghost. I understand the amount of work that goes into keeping a house in this size running, but Madame cannot expect the staff to work if they are ill. Perhaps Mademoiselle Rihanna can clear up the reason for Elizabeth's panic.
Merci. I shall return if I have any further questions.
Okay, Rihanna.
Mademoiselle, I shall be as quick and precise with my questioning as possible.
Okay. What do you need?
My condolences on your brother's passing.
Merci. He was a good man. Taken too early.
Forgive me, mademoiselle, for not extending them earlier, but I was not aware of your relationship.
He was my only brother. And he died doing what he believed was right. If I ever get my hands on who took him from me.
Do you not know who's responsible? Madame Rihanna. I understand why she's so angry for her brother to be taken from his world at such a young age, but in such a violent manner. Violence cannot be met with violence, but I'm not sure Mademoiselle feels the same. She does have a motive, guys. Her brother died in a riot. In the factory strike. Tell me about your brother's involvement in the riots in the factory.
You say the riots, but it was the strike he was part of. They started the riots, not the workers.
By they, you are referring to the security forces. They were brought in to keep the peace.
Security, huh? They were brought in to make an example of them. It was all peaceful until they arrived.
Why would they need to make an example?
So that the workers would stop rallying. No one is going to go on strike if they think they'll get killed. The security you talk of were armed and ready. The workers were pigs to the slaughter. What chance did they have?
It is obvious Mademoiselle is still upset about her brother's death, and rightly so. If the events were as Mademoiselle describes, I cannot comprehend how the security forces were able to get away with such despicable acts of violence.